morning. Good morning. Doing something that I rarely do, and that is go live and drive. Y'all have to work on my view. Hey, Modest. We need to talk. I say that every time you come on. Like, I'm gonna make some time to call you so we can have a heart to heart. I miss you. I really miss you, Modest. But I will say everything is. I know, right? And then I don't call her life, life, life. Life, life, love, life, life, life has been real. Yeah, life has been real. Like, there's no if, ands, buts about it. No complaining. Complaining doesn't change anything. And the one thing I do know is it could be worse. So I just say, God, I thank you. So let's talk about the exams. I took one yesterday without studying because I'm Asian. I'm like, well, I'm gonna take it, babe. I made a 55. The beauty is I only need to make a 40 and a 30 on the exam. So, but I'm gonna study for this last one. So I hadn't taken it yet. I have till Monday. She when I say gave me grace, I have till Monday to take it, and so I'm going to actually study. And try to get a higher grade. My first test, I made a 92. There were only 3. This one, I really just went in blind, taking it, and I made a 55, taking it blind without studying. So that was 50% good for statistics. And so this last one, I'm gonna knock it out the park. Got my work turned in yesterday. 4 discussion questions that I need to do, but they aren't hard to do, and so I'm gonna do those this morning and get them over to her, and then study. The only thing about statistics is the formulas and knowing them. Girl, I had 5 hours to do the exam. I really could have kind of tried to Google answers, but I didn't. My integrity won't let me. Like, I was joking earlier in the semester. I was like, Lord, can I find somebody to take this class for me? Because it was online. My integrity won't let me. I was like, why I got to be so integral, So yeah, I did it. And I know for sure that I'll come out with a C, but I'm thinking once I do the test, it'll probably be a B because I only need a 30. Oh, actually less than a 30. Since I made 55 on that one, I can make literally a 20 on this exam, and I'll pass the test. Pass the class with a 77. I know, right? Like, God is always watching. And truthfully, the things, something that I've always thought, and my grandmama used to say it, it's kind of crazy, but the things that you do when you are alone define you more than the things that you do when people are watching. And that's stuck with me a long time, because those are the things that show who you really are. The way you act when no one's watching. So yeah, and so that's what this video is about. Just kind of been watching YouTube, watching different stuff unfold, and still trying to stay I won't say positive, but it is positive. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm about to wipe this camera off. Forgive me, Modest. Yes, that helped a lot. I'll take this good seatbelt off, though. I try to abide by the law. Oh, y'all see that? That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna turn this way. My husband is in the midst of a project for outside. He has created himself several what do you call it? Oh, hi to the other 4 people in the room. They weren't talking, so I was talking to you, girl. The reason why I named this Freedom Friday is because I don't know that people understand the power, the freedom, the price, shall I say, for freedom. And what I mean by the price for freedom is, I had to let my window down. My heat was really working. What I mean by the price for freedom is that, so freedom is supposed to be free, right? But it comes at a price, right? But a lot of times when you think about freedom, you think about slavery, you think about rights, you think about jail, you think about even being sick in a hospital. I remember the last 11-day stay I had in 2016, and I was just ready to come home. I felt trapped in that room. Now I gotta let the window up because of the noise outside. And so freedom, sorry for the beeping. Freedom comes at a price. Yeah, hold on. Lord, I've been riding with this on the whole time. Y'all, Destiny decided to drive today. I just want y'all to know that my husband put her in the car to warm up the car. She was in her booster, though she doesn't really need a booster. Sorry, kind of all over the place. And I looked at y'all. It says I'm live. Modest, are you still here? Yeah, so everybody's left out. It's okay. I'm just gonna resume it, go back and edit it. Yeah, and we'll go from there. Hey Eve, is it still buffering? Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what happened. Good morning. I'm okay. I'll go in and edit that part out. I don't know what happened. Okay, cool. I was trying to clean the lens off, but I don't think I did too good of a job. Hold on. But the other thing about freedom is, yes, it comes at a price. Happy Friday. And I think we sometimes don't really realize that it comes at a price of peace. It comes at a price of joy. How can I say it? Like, it's a blessing to be free, but there are things that we have to do to maintain our freedom. Does that make sense? You can't treat people any kind of way and think that you're free. And I'm talking about free on the inside. And so, and this has like been on my mind all throughout the night, just because I've never been able to wrap my mind around the concept of people sitting back, being able to intentionally hurt people, sitting back, plotting the demise of someone. Hi, Alexis. Thank you, babe, for coming in. Sitting back thinking, how can I hurt this particular person? Like, I don't, my mind doesn't wrap around that concept. I've never been that way. I thank God I'm not that way. even as a child, I don't like seeing people hurt. Um, I just don't. And I often hear, the whole hurt people. And here recently, it was just this year that I started saying, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because I've been hurt, y'all. Like, I have been hurt in my life so many times. And I probably should have did this from StreamYard so I could have um put this towards YouTube too, just so that people can see. But that I mean Facebook, because Facebook is like people who have been in my life. YouTube is people who some life, some are transitioning over, some don't want to come over to YouTube. So it is what it is. But I've been hurt um as far back as I can remember. I knew when I had children that I would discipline my children, but I wouldn't beat my children. I knew that I would love my children and I would tell my children that I love them, because I didn't get that. The first time I ever got an I love you was from an adult, was because I initiated it, and it was with my mother, and my father was beating her, and I thought he was about to kill her. And I just screamed out, Mom. She told me to sit down and get out of it because I would try to help her fight my dad off. And I said, but I love you. And she said, I love you too. And they went back to fighting. The older I got, every New Year's, I don't care, midnight, I call, my grandmama would still be up. I call my grandma, my mom, my dad. I said, I love you. And so I was like, when I have my kids will know that I love them. Now, something that happened that I noticed with myself is when my children got older, especially my daughter, I found it like hugging and kissing in those mother moments for me were hard. I had to literally seek therapy because it would make the hair on my arm stand up. And it wasn't that I didn't love her. I do love her. She knows I love her, but it was just that touchy feeliness that I wasn't accustomed to because I wasn't raised that way. And but I wanted to be that way. I wanted to be that way for her. And so I sought the help that I needed to be free. Another example of being free is and this is just me being transparent right now, just so that people can understand. Hey twin. Eve, yeah, I was very aware. Like, my life mission was to not be my mother. Even though my daughter told me this morning, she said, "Oh, mama, Helen just came out." I wasn't talking about her. I was talking about something else. But she was like, "Mom, you cuss just like grandma," because my kids aren't used to me cussing. But 2020 has brought about some words. Now, I used to cuss back in the day, but baby, 2020 has brought about some words that your girl hadn't used in years, and I've been using them like they just been resting on my tongue, waiting on me to shoot off. Don't change who I am though, and if I die today, I'm still going to heaven. Amen. It at 14, I found out that the person who I thought to be my father wasn't my father by blood test. Actually, I overheard the results over the phone. My mom still waited a couple of days before she told me. And I just knew that I was 14. In 4 years, I'll be 18. That's the only daddy I've ever known. I ain't got to get to know nobody else. I don't care to know nobody else. That's my daddy. Well, my dad had to go through his process. So we had 2 years of not talking to each other. By the time I was 19, I met my biological father, whom even the history with that is kind of crazy because technically I'd been around him and his family all my life. I just didn't know that that was my family. But we never took a blood test. So when my mom passed away, heritage DNA or my heritage DNA offered a free DNA sample for orphans or children who were adopted. And so I wrote in and I told them that basically my mom had passed. She told me who my dad was. I met him. I don't have a reason to disbelieve what she said, but I wanted to make sure without hurting my bio. And because by this time I'm 40 and I've known since I'm 19, and he's always said from the very beginning, I can take a blood test, and I said it wasn't necessary. Truthfully, because looking at him, I saw me. And a lot of things just made sense. So I thought, well, I did the free swab and sent it off. The results came back, and I uploaded them. It didn't connect anything. And so I have a cousin that I am, he's my cousin. Like, he's literally my cousin on my mom's side and my cousin on my dad's side. Figure that out. One is by way of my grandmother, and which is distant, and on my dad's side, we're first cousins. My dad and his mom, my brother and sister. And so I was like, how can I figure it out? I was like, I just want to know for sure. I was like, I know, but I want to know for sure. And so he said, well, we got another cousin that did it. We'll just get her to upload her information. Cousins on both sides. Yep. Call him cousin. On my dad's side, he's my first cousin. On my mom's side, it's like down the line, something removed. And so, because like his grandmother is a Hardaway, my grandfather is a Hardaway, and they were cousins. So yeah, I don't know. That's how little the area that I was in. So you just got to be careful, girl. And the other piece is 6 degrees of separation. I have family members that didn't even know each other, met each other somewhere totally different, and still, I'm a Hardaway. Hardaways are, it's a lot of us. Like, you know, I'm a Hardaway. And so that's not unheard of. And so she uploaded her information, and I got a email saying that a first cousin has been found on my paternal side. And y'all, this weight, there was a heavy weight on me that I did not know was there. Mind you, I was 14 when I found out that my dad wasn't my dad. I was 40 when I got this information back, 40, 41. And I had to sit down because I got real dizzy, and it was like this heavy feeling was just lifted off my body. Now, mind you, I've been carrying this heavy feeling around since I was 14 years old, and I didn't know it was there. I didn't know it was there until, hey, Miss Pam, thank you. I didn't know that heaviness was on me until it was released. Does that make sense? So, like, when I found out, like, 100% sure that was my bio, hey, Crystal, it just took something off of me. And so I just remember thinking, Lord, I've been walking around with whatever this is on me since I was 14, and I didn't know it was there. I just carried the heavy burden, the heaviness or whatever. And so I'm sure that affected how I made some decisions. I'm sure it affected some of the things that I did, some of the relationships that I was in, all of that. And it was something there that I didn't know was there. So where am I going with it? That being lifted off of me was pulling back another layer to make me free. And sometimes we're bound, locked, chained, and we don't even know it. And because we're used to carrying it, it doesn't come across as heavy. It doesn't come across as abnormal. I remember being married to my husband, when we first started dating. And the way I was raised was when you go to bed, you wake up, hey, CeeLo. When you wake up, you have a, what do you call it? It's a new day. So what happened yesterday was yesterday. It's a new day. Let's start over. And my husband, we were dating at the time, he was like, no, we gotta talk about it. I'm like, what for what? It's a new day. Come on, let's start over. New beginnings. And he was like, no, that's not how you handle a disagreement. And keep in mind, at this time, I'm 30. That's how I've handled disagreements all my life, because that's how I was taught. So I didn't know anything was wrong with handling it like that. So I say that to say, carried that around and I didn't know it. So where am I going? People, Crystal said, me too, child. Baby, when you do work on you, you really don't have time to be evil, manipulative, thinking of ways to hurt someone else, thinking of your next move, your next plot, your next whatever adventure. Hey, in Rachel's place, thank you. Good morning to you. You just don't have time for it. And so there's this thing that went around Facebook that says bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting it to harm someone else. To me, venomous ways are dangerous. They're kind of the same. When you're spewing venom, hate, evil activities towards someone, the thing about a spew, if you think about a spew or a spit, is it turns into aerosol. And so you really don't get to control who all it hits. You may put it in the direction of a particular person, but because it turns into this aerosol-like thing, it may hit several people. And so once you hit several people, not only do you have to deal with the wrath or the consequences for that action, but then you also have to deal with and take accountability for those that you've affected and hurt along the way. If I'm talking in circles, y'all let me know. But this is how my mind is just kind of going. And so that's one of the reasons why I try my best to spread positivity, light, love, no judgment. And I try. I'm not perfect, y'all. I'm so not perfect. Like, I am not perfect. There's nothing. I've never thought I was perfect. Growing up, I had a lot of self-esteem issues. And the crazy part about it is those issues didn't come about until other people made them issues, if that makes sense. Like, I was okay with being a tomboy. Why did I have to wear a dress? I was okay with climbing trees. I was okay with walking my bike, things like that, until I was ready to evolve into who I am. Yeah. And so I think just the whole purpose of this live today in Freedom Friday is, in order to be completely free as individuals, nobody else can set us free outside of God. The scripture says, whom the Son set free is free indeed. But we have to work on ourselves. We are so quick to blame everybody else for every issue of our lives. And we fail to look at the part that we've played in it. Just like and I'm gonna use my mom for an example, because I've shared with you before, how she raised me, how I really didn't feel like loved and really until 2014 because of the things that she did, how she did it. But she was my mom, so I loved her. Um, I remember my cousins talking about, but you got all this stuff for Christmas, you got all this stuff for your birthday, but none of that felt like love. And I guess that's why I don't care about things now. I'm not materialistic. Oftentimes, you don't see me with my wedding ring on. I got a tattoo. But oftentimes, you don't see me with my wedding ring on because I don't want to distract you guys. Like one time I had a live and I was talking and somebody was like, "Oh my God, your ring," you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you won't even see me with it on, though my husband has a whole attitude about me not wearing it. And he was like, "This anniversary band, you going," so we'll see. But things don't matter to me. People matter to me. Relationships matter to me. Being accepted for me matters to me. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to change to fit in anybody's square, circle, peg, whatever. I don't like being labeled. I've told you guys that before. I don't like labels at all. Nor will I stay away from a particular set of people because somebody feels that I shouldn't be around that, or it contradicts who I know. Jesus ate with the thieves, robbers, and everything else. So I don't judge people. I don't. I try my best to love with an open mind, open heart until you show me different. Now, when you show me different, oh, absolutely. I just talked about how I struggled. Crystal said, not trying to make this about anyone else, but I think all of our parents had struggles with loving their kids. Absolutely. And trying not to be, I'm sure, their parents who we don't know much about because they weren't the same grandparents. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Grandkids don't get the same parents that the kids had. So, yeah. And it's still a work in progress, but I can't go back. And this is what I even told my children at the ages of, I know 12, but it may have been younger. Like, the decisions you make now can affect you for the rest of your life. And that's just the truth. They can. You can't go blaming me. There's a point in your life where you have to stop saying, it's because of my mama, I'm this way. It's because of my daddy, I'm this way. It's because I didn't have. No. When you notice those things about you, hey, bench thinker, thank you for coming in. Good morning. When you notice those things about you, you have to do the work. You have to seek out what it is. There's a scripture, I could have told you right off my head the actual place, but it's in Psalms and it's from David. But is it 51? I don't know. But where David talks to God and he's like, Lord, create in me a clean heart, renew a right spirit within me. And that was a self-check. Modest says, yes, at some point you have to stop blaming your parents. I learned absolutely. Because at the end of the day, we get to determine what our legacy will be. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I even told my boys, and I say my boys, but well, they're all my boys, nephew included. Like, y'all have to start thinking about the legacy you want to leave for your grandchildren. Don't even think about your children. What do you want to leave for your grandchildren? And then determine your path and the type of person that you will want to be. Because here's the thing, you don't get to determine when your seed, thank you, bench thinker, you don't, it's Psalms 51:10, you don't get to determine when your seed sprouts, whether you sowed a good seed or a bad seed. You do not get to determine when it sprouts. So when you spitting out hate, when you're spitting out what we call pettiness, but it's really more than being petty. It's things that could alter someone's life. Just remember that you're sowing a seed that doesn't necessarily have to come back and affect you. It can come back and affect your children. It can come back and affect your grandchildren, all because of your actions. And I think we forget that sometimes. There was another thing that went around Facebook that says, I know some of my ancestors prayed for me. I can say I know that. Like, I know that for sure. I saw my granddad praying, but I've always felt like my great grandfather and great grandmother, like felt like they prayed for me. And so they're no longer here. But I feel that God still honors the prayers that they prayed for me. And so I'm not trying to even make this super spiritual, because we can go back with the whole Oprah, what you put out into the world, you get back. Yes, the thing is, you don't get to determine how you get it back. So it could affect you or your kids. So when you're doing things that you think you're doing to hurt somebody or play with somebody, think about your child. Think about your grandchild. Think about your great grandchildren. Think about your niece. Think about your nephew. Because it's not guaranteed that the seed you sowed is going to be what you reap. And so, be it a good seed or a bad seed, the harvest is going to return. And who is it going to affect? And so that may have sounded like a huge ramble, but I just want people to be free. Like, if I wasn't free, y'all, and this is me being, the hell that I have been through these last, I can't, 4 years, like what you guys have seen me endorse in August, September, this has truly been a constant in my life for the last 4 years. This is how my life has gone. And I know I didn't do anything to deserve it. You know what I'm saying? I'm the person that love unconditionally. I'm the person that I almost have I don't want to say a savior complex, but like, if I could save the world, I would. You know what I'm saying? If I could change the world, I would. Just because I don't like to see people hurt. I don't like to see people down. But I also don't like to see people bullied. I also don't like to see people played with. And so I guess I just, for people to be able to do and say some of the things that they say is questionable. Yeah, it's questionable. And you're you're not free. Like, there's some things that you need to really look at if you feel that it's okay to talk about children, if you feel it's okay to attack um, families to the degree of trying to separate them or um, tear them apart. If you're so self-righteous that you feel you're one of the greatest parents in the world, and um so you can call CPS on people, um you probably need to check yourself, like, for real. I said this yesterday in the chat. Thank you. Prayers of the righteous avail it much. Yes, ma'am. I said this last night in a chat. I've actually said it before. I think I've even said it on live. Um, y'all, CPS, which is Child Protective Services, is not to be played with. Anybody that plays around with that not says to me that they're ignorant of the system. Hi, Simply Living with Raina. Good morning. I have watched you for several months. I just sit quietly in your bushes. I'm sorry. I needed to hear this morning. Wow, to God be the glory. To God be the glory. I thank you, because I felt like I was kind of rambling, but it was like it's heavy. You know what I'm saying? And heavy in so many ways because I want to see everyone, be it a YouTube journey, whatever their journey is, succeed. But sometimes we're the reason we're not getting to where we need to be. It's the things that we do, that prevent us from getting to where we need to be. And Bench Thinker says CPS is more traumatizing to the child than it is the parent. Absolutely. Um, and so I say that for someone to call, they have to be very ignorant of that system, because there's no way I'd put a child in CPS. I just no. I would take the child first if I could before putting a child um, in the system. Y'all don't understand these kids, and I'm gonna just speak for Tennessee and what I know. I've seen a set of kids be placed in a home, 4 kids, different ages, like 2 to 10, placed in a home. All 4 of these kids are on the same anti, not antipsychotic. Oh, I forgot what they call those type of meds, but it's like a psychotic. It's medicine to reduce psychotic episodes. All 4 of these kids were placed in a home on this medication with the same dose. Now, you're telling me the 2-year-old needs the same dose as a 10-year-old? Mm-mm. But because this is 4 kids, who's taking them to the doctor? They're being moved from home to home. Let's talk about the fact that they're white, and of white foster parents in our area. And so they have to go to black homes. And I know you're probably thinking, well, that shouldn't have anything to do with anything. Well, it does when these are children who come from a home that's racist and they don't know how to accept the love of someone that doesn't look like them, but they want to, but they've kind of told not to, so they're already torn with that, but there's nowhere else for them to go. Um, Bench Thinker says CPS is more traumatizing to the child than it is the parent. I agree. There must be a way to resolve this and unify instead of it being a topic of content on all sides. Bench Thinker, I agree. Sad situation. Yes, anti-anxiety meds keep them in a stupor. Absolutely. But then again, keep in mind what I just said, age 2 to 10, and they're all on the same medication in the same dose. That doesn't make sense. Each child doesn't even process or body doesn't metabolize medicine the exact same way. So there's something wrong with that. Another situation, child, I've shared this with you before, another set of 3 or 4 kids. One of the children has been molested. The child gets has end up being suspended, and I think she was like in kindergarten or first grade, end up being suspended on 3 10-day suspensions, if I'm not mistaken. And here I am trying to advocate and help the child to get what she needs, because our school system has a zero tolerance for hitting teachers. But the problem is every time someone touches her, she hits and run. Well, she's been molested. So perhaps an adult shouldn't put their hands on her at all. But because you're just in a system whose goal is to figure out where to place you so you can sleep, I'm not binge thinker. I'm an advocate for all children. My plan next year for 2021 is to sign up to be a CASA, which is it's a voluntary position for the um, foster system, and that's because I can't work. Like, I'm the caregiver of my daughter, which she's my daughter, so I hate saying caregiver, but I am. Hey, Angel. Um, so good question. So why are they touching her? So typically, one time the she wasn't straight in line, and the teacher pushed her over, not pushed her over, but put her in line, and where the teacher intentions were well, but she's been touched, so she's traumatized. But if you're going in a system where you go from house to house to house, there's nobody stable there to help fight for you. And so what she truthfully needed was an IEP put in place for her, not a 504, an IEP with in Tennessee we have one called ED, which is emotional disturbance. She could have been put under that category with an IEP. um she's been molested, so that could have been put in there, and then they could have created a behavior plan. But the first understanding needs to be, don't ever touch her without saying, hey, I'm about to touch your shoulder. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not okay for her to go through life not wanting to be touched either. So we have to figure out a plan to incorporate touching again, but also where she can stay in school, because you've missed 30 days of school with 3 10-day suspensions because of zero time. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. But again, this is a child in the system. Where's the therapist? And so I literally heard the counsel, when I suggested this to the foster mother. I heard the bench thinker. I saw that. I'm going to respond to that in just a minute. I heard the caseworker say, "Oh no, the school's not going to do that for her because she makes great grades." No, just because she makes great grades, that doesn't mean anything. An IEP is a two-pronged thing, and she has an emotional issue because, again, something happened to her, and it affects her at school because the people at school don't know how to handle her. And the other piece to it is, Lord help me. Well, those two are enough, so it could be done. But you just got lazy people that don't, and I don't want to say lazy people that don't, and you also have some that are just misinformed and they don't know. And so that's why it's important to know the law. But in knowing the law, you have to know the law, if that makes sense. And so, because I get kind of tired of hearing people say that. So you got to know the law. You got to know the law. Yeah, but knowing the law is more than just knowing how to read it off the books. You have to know how it applies. You have to know what loopholes there are. You have to know counter law to counter the law that they may be trying to use against you. It's a lot more to it than just knowing how to go and pick a law from the books and say, oh, this is that. No. Bench Thinker says your heart is pure. Sorry. You can probably run a nurturing group home. Bench Thinker, well, I have custody of my brother who's 31, nonverbal, autism, cerebral palsy, pulmonary hypertension. On the 10th of this month, it will be 3 years that she was kindergarten or first grade. I can't remember, TG. Hey, TG. I don't know if I spoke. He's been with me. My mother passed December 10th, 2017. She was the caregiver of him before she passed away. He moved in with me per my mother's request when she passed away. I would never leave him I always thought that he would stay in the home that he grew up in, but my mom said, no, I don't want him there if I'm not there. So he lives with me. And then, like I said, my youngest daughter is non-verbal autism. Um, she has some digestive issues, pica, some behavioral issues, as well as I'm the caregiver, my husband and I, for my mother-in-law, who lives literally directly across the street from us. But she's 91, Alzheimer's, and just being a 91-year-old. So I'm responsible for her, or we're responsible for her. And then I am a mother of four. So that four includes Destiny. So I have a 24-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, and I just got custody of my nephew um, from my first marriage. My husband and I last October, end of September. So he's living with us. So yeah, there on any given day, there's anywhere from 7 to 14 people in my home. Yeah, because both my brother and daughter have AIDS, and thankfully my husband worked diligently, and we were able to get. I'm sorry, home health aides. My husband be like, "Will you stop just saying AIDS?" But home health aides, and now we also were able to get assistance with my Crystal G. Yes, I have full custody of my nephew. Um, so yeah, though he'll be 18 in April, the goal is to just get him out of his senior year, and we'll go from there. I love him being here, though. I love him. Um, TG says, "Well, you can't tell you have 14 in your home on any given day." Yeah, we are a she said, "God bless you. Always honor your spirit of self and soul care." And and bench thinker, I'm trying to learn how to do that. I will be totally honest with you. I don't do a great job of it with the hours in the day. YouTube is something that does help me. Um Crystal said too quiet. No, I'm telling you, they spent the weekend she said, "Host, you say you are not the CeeLo." She said, "Host, I'm sorry. Host, you say you're not a foster parent, but you you sure certainly got the job description." The crazy thing is, I don't know if yesterday I talked about wanting to foster a child because the children were, and I didn't want Desi in the home by herself. And there are so many kids with different abilities that need somebody to love them, and I have a heart for them. I do, and I think everybody deserves to experience love. And I was like, maybe God will put my husband on board, and then God just dropped this awesome kid in our life, and I love every bit of it. Like, I love seeing him and my son together because they're 3 months apart, and so even though this is my nephew from my first marriage, as I stated, so technically he's not even my husband's nephew or blood to me, but he is blood to me. He's my nephew. His father passed away, which was my brother-in-law, and I loved his dad. His dad was always super respectful to me. And though the paternal side is not active, I always made sure I stayed active in his life because my son and my nephew are 3 months apart. They're cousins, first cousins, the sons of two brothers. And so, yeah, I just tried to make sure they always stay close. And I'm thankful God blessed me with a husband that was cool with that. And so, yeah, he calls my husband Uncle Dre, and it is what it is. Yeah. And I thank God for his mom, for his mom trusting me. Even in that story, and maybe one day she will be at a place to tell it, but for her to trust me, that that said a lot, you know. And she knows I love this kid. I always have. Um, so yeah, from the moment he was here. So that's my nephew. Um, so yeah, I don't know, that part of life doesn't stress me out. I think too, if I were to be honest, growing up in my growing house, it was about the same amount of people. So they went to spend the night. The boys went to spend the night at with my son-in-law, and nobody was home but Desi and Ivy. And when I tell you, the house was so quiet, of course, in the dogs, but the house was so quiet that it was like, I don't think I like this. I don't know. I'm not ready. I mean, it's cool for a little bit, but when they came back home, I was happy to see them back at the house. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where that came from because Aisha don't like a lady and she kids don't know what to do. Like, you don't catch me, so that's a lie. So you don't catch me volunteering to babysit, but I do. I don't know. I try not to like the children, but it's hard because they make me like them. Next thing you know, it's Auntie Aisha, Titi, Titi, Titi. So yeah. Um, but basically all I came on to say is Freedom Friday. Like, in order to be a person that genuinely love people, that genuinely wants the best for everyone, you have to do some soul searching, and you have to be willing to work on you. CPS is not a joke, y'all. Like, there are so many more horror stories that I can tell you. I wish I could bring statistics to you regarding how many children in foster care are medicated that don't need to be medicated, but have to be medicated because they act out because of the environment they're in, because they're snatched away from their family. And most times, I will say, CPS does what they can to reunite. I think that's what they call it. But so much damage has been done once these children have been passed from home to home, that the reunification, that's what it is, isn't always successful. And then when you're talking about children with different abilities, I can't imagine Desi being in a home that's not mine. I can't imagine my brother being in a home that's not mine. I can't even imagine my mother-in-law being in a home that's not hers. Everybody deserves to feel safe. And I think that's why I fight so hard, because it wasn't until my husband that I got to a place of feeling safe, feeling um, comfortable. Um, yeah. And so I think that's kind of it. Like, be grown. Everybody's talking about, I love what Uncle Tim said when he said, what did he say? He said, why everybody talking about standing in their own crap. He used other words. He was like, I don't want to stand in no crap. So I'm with Uncle Tim on that. I don't want to stand in crap. I don't want to do crap, and I don't want to be around crap. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the regular crap that is necessary for us to have healthy bodies. You feel me? Like, all the other stuff, life too short. Like, people are leaving here at younger ages. They're like, I'm beginning to wonder, will people make it to, like, my mother-in-law 90 and 80 anymore? Yeah. And the other piece is, you never know what anybody is going through. You never know who is one wrong word away from driving off a cliff, or taking their life. Just, you never know. Um, and so you just kind of want to be mindful of what you say, what you do, and how you treat people. Because just remember, every action is sowing a seed, and harvest time will come, be it a good seed or a bad seed. But it doesn't mean that the harvest will hit you. That harvest can hit your children, your grandchildren, somebody else close to you. The Bible tells us it rains on the just as well as the unjust. And so, yeah, you gotta be real. You gotta be real. You gotta know who you are, um, and stick to your beliefs, um, and whatever they are. And my belief is, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against me in judgment, God will condemn. For this is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, says the Lord. So that means whatever plot, God's got it. That's Isaiah 54:17. God's got it. But in the meantime, in between time, what's going on with your soul? What's going on with your heart? Do a heart check. Bench thinker, was it Psalms 51 and 10? Do a David. God, created me a clean heart, renew a right spirit within me. And I'm going to tell you how you know when it's God and when it's not God. God is not a voice of condemnation. Sounds crazy, right? God is not that man that sits on the throne and says, "Oh no, so and so is telling a lie. You're a liar. Stop being such a liar." He gives us new grace, new mercies every morning. It's never too late to get yourself right. It's never too late to get yourself together. And even with getting yourself together, it's still a God thing. It's just making the decision to let him have your way, have his way, um, in your life, to help you, to guide you, to get you to where um, you need to be your best you. Because the other thing that we often forget about is somebody's life is dependent upon us fulfilling and living our soul's purpose. We are connected to other people. We may not know them, we probably hadn't met them yet, but we're connected to other people. And so, yeah, somebody's depending on us to be who we're supposed to be. And sometimes we're caught up in some of the most frivolous things. Um, and again, this doesn't mean let people walk all over you. I love the song by Toby when he says, the Bible says, turn the other cheek. And there's just one part of the Bible that don't sit right with me. Didn't I tell y'all I ain't perfect? God for me. And for the most part, I can ignore a lot of stuff. I can, because life, some of this stuff just ain't that serious. But when it comes to children and trying to destroy families, I can't ignore that. That means something is wrong. If you can't think of, here's the thing, and I think this is where I'll stop. Before you do anything to anyone else, before you set out judgment on anyone else's parenting, before you set out judgment on anyone else's home and how clean it is or is not, stop. Take a moment and look around. Look at your kid and see if your kid is doing the things that your kid should be doing. Look at your home. See if your home is clean. Look at your attitude. Ask yourself, have I talked about anybody today? Have I judged anybody today? Have I cursed out anybody today? Get what I'm saying? And when we start focusing on us, we'll find that we got very little time to focus on fixing someone else. Because we all got work to do on ourselves. So yeah, that's kind of all I had. Didn't expect this to be a car live. But it was a car live. Anybody any questions for me? I'm on YouTube, so I can't drop a link. But is there any comments? I thank everybody for coming in. I pray it didn't just come across as a ramble. I do pray that this helps someone. Yeah. But one thing I do know is I am my sister's keeper. I am my brother's keeper. I'm not gonna let anybody bully anybody. I'm not gonna let anybody try to bag people in a corner. And I also know me. When it comes to fight or flight, I fight. I don't flight. And 9 times out of 10, I fight for others harder than I fight for myself. That's just been me my whole life. I feel people can do whatever they want to do to me. As long as you don't touch me, you can say whatever you want to say. But just stop playing the games, y'all, with CPS and calling the cops. And I put this in the chat yesterday, but I hope this sticks with you guys. Just remember this. When I say you guys, whoever's listening, whoever, like, you know how they say, if the shoe fits, wear it. No needs to be upset about it. But Tatiana Jefferson was in her home. She was playing the video game with her son. Her neighbor was concerned because her door was open and it was late. He called the police to do a well check, and she was killed in her home. The neighbor stated that he ever dialed 911 trying to protect her. There was also a hashtag, what was it? Don't call the police to do a well check on me. Call the fire department. Thank you so much. Is that a super chat? I see 4. I'm sorry. I'm on my phone. Thank you, because I can't see. I'm sorry. I just saw what I just saw what Crystal said. Crystal said, "Show did 1 bathroom, 20 folks. Mercy, baby, don't play." Binge thinker, maybe you get together a panel of people that have been victims of CPS to tell their story. I know. Binge thinker, would you like to collab with me on that? Real talk, I'll do it. I mean, I'll do it on my own, but that's a great idea. So if you'd like to collab, definitely. They get harmed in CPS and mistreated. Absolutely. CeeLo says somebody needed to hear this discussion today. Praise God. Simply Living with Raina says, not sure of the statistic numbers, but most of our missing children in America went missing in custody of CPS. Absolutely. They run away. Yes, TG, some people only want the money. And that's sad. And murdered. Yep. And it's not by all. Look up the God Rosenbaum case, Jennifer Rosenbaum. I'll tell y'all a little bit about it. Some age out of CPS custody with no life skills, let alone sense of self. Yeah. Rachel's Place said, "Amen, TG. If you don't love yourself, that's it. That's it. And you can't." I was talking to my friend, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back to the comments, but I was talking to my friend the other day, and we were talking about, it was just yesterday, and we were talking about when the disciples or whatever. And y'all, I'm sorry, because like this channel's not spiritual, but then at the same time, I mean, it's who I am. Like I know the word and I cuss, okay? But I don't treat people, I try to treat people right. I try my best. But if I find out you're bullying and bothering somebody else, I'm coming for you. the great when they ask, Lord, out of the commandments, basically, this is me paraphrasing. Y'all know I paraphrase the Bible. Out of all the commandments, which one is most important? Like almost like which ones I really got to do so I can make sure that I get him. You know what I'm saying? And Jesus replied, to love God with all of your heart, soul, and mind, and to love your neighbor as yourself. So, and my shout out to Betsy. Love your neighbor as yourself. If you don't love yourself, then you don't know how to love your neighbor. Amen. And that thing set with me. So until you truthfully learn how to love you, it's impossible to love your neighbor in an appropriate way. You can love them, but if you're loving them as you love yourself and you're not showing any love for yourself, then how are you loving your neighbor if you're not real with yourself? And that's another thing. So many times people think, or I'll just say we think, that way it doesn't come across as me being judgmental, that we can fool people. We can fake it till we make it. The problem is most of us has spent so much of our lives faking it that we don't know who we really are. We've been trying to live according to society and what society says, but we don't know who we really are. Scared to stand on our own beliefs and what we think is morally right because it doesn't align with society. And that's what I say about even with my daughter. That's why I'm not afraid to share that. Yes, I have a daughter that's 9 and doesn't talk. I'm not afraid to share that, because if you take that and you run with that and you want to make jokes about that, what does that say about you and how you feel about you? Because anybody with common, what's the word? I don't want to say common sense, but decency. That's a good way to use it. Would know that that's not something that you find funny. That's not something that you laugh about. That's not something that you do. TG says you just don't become evil. TG, I don't know. We all have choices that we can make. And some people get a rush and an adrenaline from doing evil things. And that's their drive. The battle in this world has always been about darkness and light, evil and good. What I do know is the scripture says, and I do know its work, is that you overcome evil with good. And I've used that before, so it does work. I've applied it in my life. So you overcome evil with good. Overcoming evil with good doesn't necessarily mean you're a doormat either. It just means that you can handle your business and do what you need to do and still be a good person and not do it with malicious or evil intent. Hopefully that makes sense. I love you, Tony. That's my twin, y'all. Have a great day. TG says, right, when I started my channel, those ladies look for me to be on every day. They call me their therapy. We always going through things and we help one another through it. And that's how it should be. You have a great weekend too, Bench Thinker. Thank you. And I'm serious about that. If you want to do, if you want to collab, we can. But if not, I'm definitely going to take your advice and still do that. Oh, thank you, CeeLo. It wasn't even the topic. It was just my heart. Simply Living with Raina says, I appreciate this live. You indeed fed my spirit this morning. Family drama is hard. but I found strength to grind and bear it. Yes. And I don't know if you're still here, simply living with Marina, but we have family issues. Like, my family is not perfect. Um, we have issues. The key still is to determine what do you want to be going forward, and you can protect your space, your energy, your like the positivity that you keep around you. And it's okay. It's okay also to love people from a distance. Thank you, bench thinker. Michael Foster in Ohio, look up that. Sometimes the perpetrators are not the caregivers. Yes, but the people that get access to the kids via the caregivers. Absolutely. Love yourself. Oh, thank you, Crystal. You love your daughter. That's what's matter. Oh yeah, baby. She's Desi is why I am who I am today. And I say it all the time. My older children can tell you that the little girl changed everything about me. And I thank God for her. TG says some people had bad things happen to them to make them feel good. They do evil things. Yeah. And that's where therapy comes in. Like, I love what Bessie says, that we have to fall on our knees and go to a couch, meaning falling on our knees to pray and also lay on the couch and talk to a therapist. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I talk to a therapist. I've been in therapy since 2013. I will probably be in therapy for the remainder of my life, not just because of the things that happened as a child, because I didn't get to deal with those things. So yes, I'm talking about those things now, but life that I envision for myself. Like, I'm supposed to be traveling the world. I mean, I know 2020 don't count because a couple folks has been traveling in 2020 that didn't travel. Thank y'all so much for the super chats. I appreciate you. Y'all just don't know how that blesses me. I got my first YouTube check, or Google AdSense check. I'm not sure what it is. Last week, last month, something like that, and it was $108. But I was so happy to go over to Dre and say, hey, there's $108 in the bank. Pay something that needs to be paid. And to him it was like, no, take it and do something for you. But y'all, I hadn't worked in since 2011. I tried a little bit with Amazon at home. That didn't work out for me. So, because I'm a caregiver, and I'm on their time, not my time. So thank y'all for that. I try not to ask for anything on here. But I would be lying if I said, well, this isn't a business for me, it's a hobby. I said this in what was it, month one? My 1 month celebration, I was like, anybody that tell you YouTube is a hobby is lying. I mean, there may be some people that just do it for a hobby, but I don't. I do it, one, because I know this is what God wants me to do. And two, I kid you not, every live I've done since I've been here in May, afterwards, someone said, this is what I needed. And to just see it in this chat today lets me know that I'm doing the right thing. So, Raina, thank you for even sharing that with me. So yeah. Bench Thinker gave me something to think about. I guess that's why she's called Bench Thinker. Definitely looking for some adults now. I know a couple of people that do foster, so I surely could do a panel. Yeah, I got a couple things in the making, like a couple of documentaries. Which that's something I never thought that I'd say. A couple of documentaries that that are important to me that I want to do. None of them will be on me. Although I am an open book. I often tell people I'll be a great what do you call it? Interviewee, because I don't hide or leave out anything, but I don't just openly share. everything, if that makes sense. But yeah, I I'm about to go in here and do these last four discussion questions and study for my test. Crystal, Cynthia, you guys will be happy to know that my teacher literally sat on the phone with me yesterday and was not going to let me give up. My professor walked me through 10 assignments. And so that lets me know that the school thing, I got to see it through. Um, so yeah, thank you guys again so much for the super chat. Thank you for just letting me speak from my heart, because that's what I did. It was just my heart this morning. Um, I love hard, and I want the best for people. TG says some people have it. Oh no, there's something under that. I'm sorry. She said good. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, after that, it's all portfolio. And my hard deadline for that portfolio is December 15th. And so I can get it turned in. And I'm praying I get all 30 hours and I can be done with that. And prayerfully, I don't have to go to school next semester and I will be graduating May 2021. And if I do, I don't know if they're gonna have a ceremony or not. I'd always said that when I graduated, I wasn't gonna be a part of the ceremony, but for some reason, my younger brother wants to be my dad, and he was like, "Oh no, you gon' be a part of that ceremony. You gonna walk across that stage. We gonna get to holler your name." So I don't know. Ain't that big of a deal to me. Y'all can give me a private ceremony at grandma's house in the yard. I'm just saying that'll make me happy. All them other people, I don't know them. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna get off here for real because I gotta go inside and do all this stuff. Guys, I love you. Thank you for just allowing me to pour out my heart today. I know that it was a little rambly, but yeah. And so I'll be back once I'm done with homework and studying, and I've taken the final quiz to say that I'm done. But yeah, TG, keep your head up. I don't have any information, but I do have a team that oh, thank you, Raina. I appreciate it. I really thank you. Like, that blessed me to say that you've been in the bushes for a while, and thank you. Yeah, thank you. I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't even know. I'm gonna go ahead and do this work though. I know that. Thank y'all so much again for the super chats. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for just talking with me, talking through this with me. Oh, it was TG. I think I was going to answer something. She said, "Oh no," she just said, "Congratulations. You have a blessed day too." That's what I was about to say. TG, I don't have any information. I am really, I'm trying. But as I stated before, if nobody can even travel right now because of COVID to that degree. So yeah, I don't know, but I will because I don't believe in those type of injustices. And so yeah, I just need you to stay chill, help Lisa to stay chill. I pray that you two can work on your relationship. And yeah, I'm sending lots of peace, love, joy your way. Okay, please let me know. Rita, I don't know if you're seeing this or if you're gonna see this, but I got you. I promise you, I got you. I've said it before, I said it again. If I have to spend the new year in Baltimore, I will. But Baby J ain't going nowhere. Matter of fact, Baby J should be having a shipment coming his way by Monday. And yeah, autism moms stick together. There's autism moms in this chat right now, and we're gonna play about our babies. Baby J is all our babies. And so when they put their mouth on Baby J, they don't put their mouth on Destiny and every other child I know. And yeah, I'm with you. I was rocking with you way before then and I'm rocking with you even still now. Um just because this is on my heart to do it, I'm gonna do it. Brooke Valentine, CEO, Secretary of Information. Honey, step away. And I'm not saying that in a bullying way. I'm not saying that in a threatening way. I'm saying it in a save yourself way. Step away. You are spiraling. You are looking extremely manic right now. And I'm not doing anything right now that I didn't do when I considered you a friend. And that's just tell you the truth and kind of call you out on the bull. But because we don't talk behind the scenes, this is where I have to do it. And because this is where you like to handle things. Having a conversation with you this morning with someone in my family, just hearing her say, I just never thought she would do some of those things. And hearing my husband tell me, babe, don't feel bad. Don't second guess yourself. You know, we all sometimes are a little bit off, and even still, God does what he does and put people in our lives for a reason. You know this. You say this all the time. And he, you know, when a season is up, it's up. And the things that you've done, I don't know if it's the attention that gets your adrenaline going, but you're playing a dangerous game, Brooke. If the court finds out that everything that you've done has been a hoax, you're probably going to get some time because you're wasting taxpayers' dollars. And no receipt has to be chopped or screwed to show that you've been playing games with people's lives. I'm encouraging you to just step away. There's a song that says you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. I'm not moving in silence. It's illegal in Baltimore, in Maryland, period, to record conversations without other people knowing. Actually, Maryland is one of 12 states that still has a law on the book about it. It's also illegal in Tennessee to record a conversation without people knowing it. Now, here's the thing. I have the video that you made. I'm going to have to edit this for real so that I can separate the first video from this one. But I have a video that you made playing recordings of a conversation that you and I had, several different conversations. You even said that I was harassing you, I was stalking you. And I was like, I was nothing but a good friend to her, which is something that I don't take lightly because I just got to the place where I start talking to other females and calling other females friends because I was raised not to trust them. Majority of my friends are males. I'm trying to get better about, hanging out with the girls or whatever. But I typically don't because I don't like mess. I don't like this type of stuff. But it's against the law. And so, am I going to press charges on you? I don't know. Do I have the evidence that you did it? Yep, I do. You put it out there and then you deleted it. But I immediately screen recorded it. Doxing is illegal. You know that though. You know that because you filed a false claim stating that you were doxxed by Rita, when in fact you said on a video that I don't have a copy of, but I bet you somebody got a copy of it, that you had already doxed Rita. What happens if all of this stuff gets put together and sent to the judge, and the judge decides that this is unacceptable, that you've played with taxpayers' dollars? What happens? What happens if you go to jail? Thankfully, your baby lives in a 2-parent household and he has an older brother, and you have a sister that can step in and help him while you're away. But why? Why does it need to be that? Why does it need to be that? Why does it um why does it have to be that? Truthfully, it shouldn't be. I don't know what it is, but some areas that you definitely need to research is acceptance, rejection, where the need for acceptance stems from, where the hurt from rejection stems from. And I can tell you about that because I had to work on it. I didn't like being rejected. And it was years ago when I had to work on it. And I realized it stemmed from, again, a broken home, not having a solid father figure for me. But you said you and your dad have an amazing relationship. So perhaps you just need to sit with yourself and figure those things out. But cussing you out on YouTube, I ain't gonna say I'm above it. I'm just gonna say I'm not here for it. That's not my assignment. That's not my assignment. But I'm gonna protect those that I can at all costs because it's who I am. I'm an advocate. I fight for justice. I fight for others. And it's just time to call it a quits. Time to call it a quits. Yeah. So, with that being said, I'm gonna let this live play like it is for a couple days, and then I'll go in and edit some of this out. But I will put a chapter, I guess, on it, and that way people can go ahead and give the timestamp because I said what I said, and I meant what I said. Yeah. CeeLo, Crystal, thank you guys again for the super chat. It blessed me more than you guys know. Raina, thank you so much for your words of encouragement. TG, what did you say? Hey, Lady J. Lady J is about it. I love you, lady. When in fact, she doxed me and my sister records and showed our charges and mugshots. She tried to delete. I have the video. and I dox no one. Yeah. And the other piece too, again, with learning law, um, Rita didn't dox if we were to be quite honest, because doxing, the law states that it's with malicious intent, and her intent wasn't malicious. Her intent was, um, you scam some people, so let's see who you really are. Um, and it released some skeletons in your closet, but it was all public information anyway. And that's the part that I don't know why you won't stop. Like, I don't even know. So okay, I'm gonna roll with it because I'm trying to let it go. But that's the part that makes it hard for me to understand why you won't stop. You know that the stuff isn't a lie. It's not a lie. Um, can you be redeemed? Yes, absolutely. Will your relationships be restored? Nah. I don't have no hate for you. I ain't got no love for you either. It's real, um, indifferent. Like, I don't want anything bad to happen to you, but yeah. Um, but no. Um, but at some point, you just gotta stop. You're doing tarot readings on people. That doesn't align with God. And greater is He that is in me than he that is in the world. So you can't put a hex or a spell or anything on me or anyone else. Um, yeah. So this is me just being Isha. And you can't say that we didn't have these type of conversations. Like when you went over there and jumped on that panel, and then I went over there windmilling for you, not even realizing that until I went back and listened, those people didn't even call your name. And I told you then, don't run your ass back over there. Excuse the ass, y'all. Don't run your ass back over there, bothering them people, and then call your name. And you're not blocked. So you went over there because they were talking about you. Let's be honest. Yeah, they were. But they didn't call your name. And my grandmama always said, you don't answer if your name had been called. And that applies to even some other type of name being called. Were you named that? Your name wasn't called. You just jumped down and you went completely off. Um, but little did I know what those people were talking about. God's child said on that platform that night, I don't believe Miss Thomas. No. And boy, was she right. I didn't know what all you were capable of. I didn't. But I have literally watched you go through different sectors and wreck them. And that's not okay. You need to do some introspection. It is not too late. Go back to doing the stuff that you were absolutely great at. You don't have to be a part of a clique. You don't have to be a part of a group. Just be you. Just be you. And figure out what it is that is causing you not to want to be you. Because just in the time that I've been away, and perhaps I'm not going to say that time because I didn't notice all of this stuff about you. Um, I want to read that. I've seen you morph into so many people. And so that means that you're battling a lot of demons right now that you don't even know that you're battling. But the beauty about that is God is so open that you ain't got to go to a church or go to somebody to lay hands on you. Or no, you can go to God yourself and be like, God, show me me. Show me these areas that are flawed, the areas that I'm not giving you, the areas that I'm lacking, and show me why. And he'll help you. And I'm not telling you something I heard, I'm telling you something I know. Raina says, I live with a narcissist mother. I can recognize narcissistic behavior. These people are like Teflon. Nothing ever sticks. If you know what I'm saying. Well, for me, that was Catanio. I'm about to call your teacher. Why are you not in class? Hey, Catanio. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But I know I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure lives aren't destroyed at the hands of one individual. And yeah, that's that on that. Catonio, that's one of my daughter's students. Hopefully he's on break, intermission, lunch, something of that sort. Yeah. But yeah. You guys have an amazing day. I'm sending lots of love, joy, peace, blessings your way. You're responsible for your happiness. And yeah, I'll see you guys when I'm completely done with class. I don't know if it'll be today or tomorrow, but I'll see you. But if I have to come back today, I will. It just won't be on this channel. I have created another. I don't mind, TG. I've created another channel. Though I will probably change the name later. But right now I'm a little mad. So not real mad, just a little mad. And I'm just tired of people being bullied. So my page name right now. But if you would like to subscribe, it's called LSK Not TUH THU Day DAY. Okay. So feel free to subscribe if you guys would like. And if I have to address any buffoonery, foolery, it'll be there. All right. I think I've said bye like 3 times, but yeah, I'm gone for real now. I love you guys. Bye. And this is YouTube. Leave it in the description. Okay, I will. Bench Thinker, let me know truthfully if you want to do a collab on that. If not, I'll take it. I know quite a few that have aged out as well as foster parents. So let me know. Seriously. Because I even thought about getting a CPS worker to see if I could interview her. So yeah, but we're gonna talk about it because I'm sick of it. Like, yeah, I'm sick of it. But the beauty of life is none of us are hopeless. There is still hope. We all can be better. There's always room to grow. Just gotta want to grow. Gotta want to be better. Yeah. And don't push so hard to belong, if that makes sense. Because some places we're just not meant to be. And it's okay. In the words of Desi, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this hair, but I'm gonna think of something. All right. I love you guys. Yesterday was the 1 year anniversary to my big chop too. So my hair grew like really fast during this quarantine because I think I cut it like 3-4 times before the quarantine started. All right, whole nother topic. Bye y'all. This is me trying to not hurry up and get to my work, but I gotta get it done. Get her done. Bye. Thank y'all again for the super chats and the thumbs up. It means more than you guys know. A membership. Let's just talk about it, you guys. Some things are going to be coming your way. So yeah. Thank y'all for being a part of my team. Real talk. In life, in virtual. I love you guys. Bye. Wait, do I exit? Okay. Bye y'all.